Hi guys! So today I'm going to talk to you about dream sheets. I kind of took some notes that I'm going to be reading off, so hopefully I don't say or get lost a bunch, but who knows. I'm terrible at talking. Anyway, so during BMT you'll have the opportunity to make a dream sheet, which is a list of bases that you hope to get. And I haven't been to BMT yet, so I can't tell you exactly how this process works, but I've looked up a lot of info about it, and I have some knowledge to share. So some advice is you have options. You have CONUS, ACONUS, or both. So CONUS is like in the United States, and OCONUS is outside of the United States. It's up to you if you're interested in living overseas. I would put that down. I mean, you should be aware that you could be stationed overseas anyway, even if you don't put any overseas down. And the reverse is true as well. You could be stationed in the United States even if you put only overseas. But I don't know how likely those odds are. I don't really know much about that. But I do know that if you put down bases, they're going to try to get you in a place that you'll be happy. But the thing to know about dream sheets is it's a dream sheet. They call it that for a reason, because basically you put down what you want and they try, but they're really going to put you where they need you, but they'll put you hopefully something on that list, and they'll try to put you there first, and then they'll place you based on that. But if they don't have anything in the places that you listed open, or if they put someone else in that spot, then they'll put you somewhere else. So my second piece of information for you guys is that you're not only limited to bases that have your job, but also your skill level and bases that have an opening. So that kind of limits you further. So just because a base has your job, you also have to make sure that they take your skill level and everything. But the good news is that I think that during basic training, they give you a list of the bases that have your opening. So it'll be for your skill level since you're in basic. I think they'll give you a list. You get to choose from that list what bases you want. I don't know how true that is. I've heard it. Who knows? Take it or leave it. I'm hoping that that's the case, because I think they do give you a list of what you can do at basic, and you choose from that. So that being said, a major piece of advice is that I would have you research bases. So go to the Air Force website, and there's a section that says locations, and it says what bases they have. Go look them up, see what you like about it. If there's a certain region or country or state or whatever that you're interested in, look at that base, look at the area, see what you'd be living in for the next 3 years. It's a really cool thing to check out. I recommend doing that. Then from that point forward, I would make a list and keep it as big as you can, but basically a list of bases that you are hoping to see on that paper that they give you at basic training that you get to pick from. So I don't know if that made sense. Basically, make a big list of all the bases that you'd be willing to live at. And it'll be a list that maybe you can write down and keep in a journal or something, or maybe mail to yourself so that it gets to you during basic training. But have it so that when the opportunity comes, you'll have that list and you'll say, oh yeah, I remember that base name. It was on the list that I made, and it's one of the bases that I'd be happy with, so that if you see that base list during basic training, when you make your dream sheet, you'll know which bases you want to put, and it'll be quicker and a more easy process for you. So my last piece of information to give is, okay, this is kind of how dream sheets work. I think you could put 8 on each side, so 8 CONUS and 8 OCONUS to equal 16 total. So the cool thing that you should know about CONUS is that you don't just have to list a base. If you want a cheat, you can actually put down an entire state instead of a base for one of your numbers. And if there's a bunch of bases in that state, for instance, California, Texas, and Florida, all 3 of those states have 6 bases in that one state. So if you put California, Texas, and Florida on your dream sheet, then your chances of getting one of those, like a base in one of those 3 states, you just put down 18 bases in 3 spots, technically. So I think it ups your chances of getting put in place. And another thing you can do is put down an entire region. So like if you want to be stationed in the South, put the South, or like the Southwest, or the North, and the Northeast, or the Midwest, or whatever you want to do, put that down. Another thing you can do is put down bases or countries if you're looking at Oconus. But I don't have very good info about Oconus, so I don't have a lot of good tips for that. So if anyone has tips about Oconus on your dream sheet, please comment down below because I would like to know as well. Oh, and another piece of advice is to keep an open mind. So let's say that you don't like any of the bases that you see once you get to basic, and you've never heard of them, or you've heard that they all suck, or blah, blah, blah. You need to keep an open mind because every base is going to be what you make out of it. So it's all about your mindset, just like basic training. Basic training is what you make out of it as well. So there's that. So the last thing that I'm going to do is someone requested that I share what I would put on my dream sheet. So, I mean, I was going to put down, like, states in general. I'm not sure if I want to put any Oconus, but, I mean, I am going to put down Hawaii, and that technically is Oconus. But I will consider putting Italy down if I see it. And then my job, which is the broadcast journalist, it is actually one of the jobs that could be at, like, other branches bases. So like if I see France, I'll put France down because I love France, but most of my bases are going to be in the United States. So I'm really looking at Texas, Florida, Ohio, California, Arizona, Georgia, New Mexico, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Mississippi. But what I did is I made that big list that I was telling you guys about, so this is like my super long list. Here we go. Los Angeles Air Force Base in California, Lackland or Joint Base San Antonio in Texas, Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada, Vandenberg in California, Joint Base Charleston in South Carolina, Keesler in Mississippi, Luke in Arizona, Davis-Monthan in Arizona, MacDill in Florida, Peterson in Colorado, Travis in California, Dias in Texas, Shepherd in Texas, Hurlburt Field in Florida, Tyndall in Florida, Andrews in Maryland, Wright-Patterson in Ohio, Maxwell in Alabama, Deal in California, March in California, Edwards in California, Patrick in Florida, Homestead in California, Eglin in California, Barksdale in Louisiana, Columbus in Mississippi, Holloman in New Mexico, and Kirtland in New Mexico, and Kennon in New Mexico, Seymour Johnson in North Carolina. I promise I speak English. Shaw in South Carolina, Arnold in Tennessee, Laughlin in Texas, Goodfellow in Texas, Randolph, which is also part of Joint Base San Antonio in Texas, Robbins in Georgia, Moody in Georgia, and then any other base that sounds like it won't have cold weather that I end up seeing on that big list. So that is my in the United States. And then for over the United States, the ones I'm considering are Hawaii, Aviano in Italy, Moron in Spain. I don't know if it's pronounced that way. Lage Field in Portugal, and Stavanger in Norway. But if I see France, I'm putting France down. But I don't know if I'm putting all of those down. I honestly think I just might be putting down Hawaii. So that is all of my bases that I put down. And I'm sure that, you know, if I get put at a base that I don't really want, I'm going to make the most out of it. Like, I'm sure Alaska's beautiful, as well as any other state that I've never thought twice about being stationed at. But I'm going to keep an open mind. I mean, this whole experience for me is keeping an open mind. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Bye, guys.